backflip from Greg Marzhew. I reckon if he does that on the field, the Americans will go crazy over there for
Or if his
NRL.
coach held his breath just to make sure he didn't injure himself. That would be a story. Thank you, Bronte. Well, it's a hotly contested honour and the results are in. IGA taking out the award for the best rotisserie chicken, bringing Costco's 5-year winning streak to an end. Nearly a quarter of people surveyed by CanStar say they include a roast chicken in their regular grocery shop, while a cheeky 4% revealed they passed off a supermarket chook as a home-cooked meal.
In just 3 minutes, it's the bionic boost getting Queenslanders back on their feet. After the break, why modern hip replacements are finally going the distance and keeping patients moving for longer.
But first, here's Luke Bradnam with a quick check on the weather. Luke, will we see these strong winds hang around tomorrow for our final day of summer?
Where has the year gone, Joel? Yes, unfortunately, those winds up again for Saturday. We will see them ease on Sunday, though, slightly. Showers hanging around for the next week. I'll have all the details of Full Weather app coming up next.
Hip replacements have been a game changer for the mobility of Australians since the procedures started here in the late 1960s. Now, researchers found the relief that comes with an implant these days can last an incredible 30 years.
At 70, Helena has just received her second hip replacement. The other hip was done 18 years ago.
He did a good job for 18 years. I didn't feel pain. It went smoothly.
The number of hip replacements is rising in Australia. More than 60,000 surgeries performed last year.
There's a misconception in the community amongst doctors and amongst patients that hips only last 15 years. Now, that used to be true. In the 1990s, hips did last 15 years and then they wore out. But the materials have changed significantly.
Data from joint replacement registries in 8 countries, including Australia, was used in the Global Review, published in the Lancet Medical Journal. Advanced modelling shows most modern implants are lasting at least 3 decades.
93% of hips will still be functioning well at 25 years and 92% are still functioning at 30 years.
My doctor said that I can live with it the whole my life.
Newer generation ceramics and far better plastic liner technology, the workhorse of the implant, has resulted in far less wear.
It's a ball and socket joint, it's the plastic liner, and I tell people it's a bit like wearing out the tyres in your motor car. The rubber does not wear out anymore.
The average age of someone receiving a hip replacement in Australia is 68. The latest review also reassuring for younger patients who need surgery as a last resort.
These include patients less than 30. We'd certainly like people to get to retirement age if they can, but if they're disabled, it's no longer a concern like it used to be.
Gabriella Rogers, 9 News.
Time now for your full weather forecast. Luke, hard to believe the first week of autumn is upon us and it's shaping as a wet one.
It certainly is, Joel, although the good news is no heavy rain for us in the southeast, but there is a chance of showers most days for the week ahead. I'll show you the outlook in a tick. They're all being whipped up by these strong southeasterly winds. If you look at today's radar, down here on the Gold Coast, we have winds as strong as 60 kilometres an hour earlier today. The heaviest of the rain, though, has been up around the Sunshine Coast, and that remains the way this evening as well. Seeing falls of around 20 millimetres, parts of the Sunshine Coast today. Nambour in the last 24 hours receiving over 100 millimetres. Today's temperatures across the southeast, up in the high 20s it was along the coast, touching around 30 degrees today for the city and in the low 30s for the west. And tomorrow's weather map tells the story for our state. We'll see those unstable conditions continue for the northwest, stretching down to the southwest of our state. Onshore winds pushing showers in along large parts of the Queensland coastline tomorrow. And if you're off interstate this weekend, a shower or two on the way for Sydney and Melbourne. Cloudy for Canberra, partly cloudy for Hobart, a possible storm on the way for Adelaide, fine in the west for Perth, and for you in Darwin, showers, a possible storm and temps around 30 degrees. Back into Queensland, just a light shower or two for Cairns that will see some heavier falls possible for Townsville and Mackay. A light shower or two along the Capricornia coast and pretty similar along the Fraser coast as well. Showers in the west though for the Isa and Longreach, and a cloudy day on the way for Roma. Here in the southeast, pretty similar to what we have seen today. A shower or two for most areas, particularly along the coastal fringe. Temps reaching around 30 degrees for most of us, and strong southeasterly winds again. Southeasterly winds out on the bay 15 to 25 knots and seas getting up to 1.5 metres. And for the city, a top of 29 degrees for our final day of summer. Overnight dropping down to a pretty comfortable 21. Just a shower or two on the cards tomorrow. And then as we look ahead, up to 5 millimetres possible for our Sunday, for the first day of autumn. A shower or two, 29 for Monday. Shower or two, 28 degrees for Tuesday next week. For Ipswich, partly cloudy tomorrow, a top of 31 degrees. A shower or two and 30 for Sunday and Monday next week, and partly cloudy for Tuesday. Here on the Gold Coast, a shower or two on the way tomorrow. Could see up to 8 millimetres in the gauge for our Sunday, and a shower or two and 28 degrees from Monday right the way through till Thursday next week. For you on the sunny coast, up to 5 millimetres tomorrow, 10 millimetres for Sunday, and lighter showers possible from Monday through until Friday next week. Let's have a look at the beaches. Well, very ordinary conditions on the open beaches today. Those southeasterly winds up over 60 kilometres an hour, but have a look down on the protected corners, turning it on. The swell slightly smaller than what we saw yesterday, but the good news is for experienced board riders, all weekend long we'll have decent waves up the Sunshine Coast and certainly down here on the Superbank on the Gold Coast. A big sweep at the moment to the north, so if you're heading down for a family day, make sure you stay between the flags. Offshore for the boaties this weekend, not a lot of fun. It's the final day we can get amongst the Spanish mackerel. Great stuff. Yeah, that Spanish mackerel closure goes in place for 3 weeks from Sunday, guys. So make the most of tomorrow. Stay safe out there, have fun, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Sounds good, Luke. Thank you. And that is 9 News Queensland for this evening. Ali Langdon is next with a current affair, and I'll have updates for you later in the evening.
Thank you for your company from all of us. Have a great weekend. Good night.
Good night.